A lot has changed in Microsoft Planner this year, and if you're not using these 7 updates, you're missing out on some of the easiest wins within Microsoft 365. Let me show you. In addition to the Planner tab at the top, you have the Planner name also showing within the Planner area. And beside it, there is actually 3 dots. So let's just go into these 3 dots because we get a special menu that was only available on the web previously. So I'm going to click on that. And then from there, I'm going to go to Plan Details. Now, this is where I can change the name that I'm displaying within the planner. So I've changed it to Task for Recruiting rather than Planner for Recruiting. And then I also have suggested backgrounds available to me. So let's pick one of these. And then once we've made those changes, we'll just close this side panel here. So that was one of the options from that menu you have now. Let's click on those 3 dots again and see that you do have an option for duplicating a plan. So if you have a certain list of tasks that you need to do over and over again, maybe quarterly or monthly or yearly, then this is a great way for you to start with a blank plan. So keep that blank plan somewhere and duplicate it for each of those months or each of those quarters or each of those years and so on. And then you see you also have the option of exporting that plan to Excel so you can work with it further there, and also deleting the plan. Now I'm actually going to change the name to be a bit more reflective of what's going on here with recruiting. So I've changed it to Employee Onboarding, but my tab name is still Planner for HR Recruiting, which with the arrow here, I could rename it if I did want to. So that was always available to us. Now let's move on. And the next one is right beside it. You have something called goals now. So aside from having just regular tasks within your planner, you can have goals that you set up and then you can connect your tasks to those goals. So I made a goal here that says hire and onboard 2 new employees by June 30th. And then I've connected a number of tasks that I already have to this goal. And you can actually see I have a second goal here that I've added that doesn't have any tasks for it already, but I do have that connect tasks link. So that looks pretty easy to use. I'm just going to click on it. It shows me what my tasks are. So from this list of tasks, I can click on them to connect them to that particular goal. And then I'm going to hit save changes and I see 2 tasks showing there with that new goal. Let's add another goal. So there's an add goal button at the very top right. So I've typed my goal in here. Now, aside from connecting the tasks, I do have an option here to put whether that task is in progress or not. So I'm going to just say it's on track for this goal. My end date for this particular goal is going to be, we'll say the end of September. And now I'm going to go and connect the tasks. So I have a couple of tasks selected here, save those changes. And you see I have a couple of here as well. So you can see that from the goals area, I can add a task right here, or within the tasks themselves, I can connect the goal. So let's just go to the tasks so you can see where this is sitting. So I'm just gone to the board so I can see what the tasks are. And you'll see that there's this little goal icon, that little trophy showing on my tasks that are already connected to a goal. Let's click on one that has no trophy. And if we want to connect this to a goal, we're going to just simply click on the connect to a goal. And there are 3 goals that we have. So I picked something here and there's no save button. I can just simply hit the X. And now I have a trophy on that goal as well. So goals is a very neat way of really tying in those tasks to what your final outcomes are and those results. The next change that we see in our planner area is the fact that we have the option for reports now. So an extra button here. So let me click on reports and you'll see that I've generated a couple of reports already. I can certainly generate another report by simply clicking on, first of all, the reporting period. So these are my choices, and then my report section. So this is where I'm saying what I want to see within that report. If I don't need an executive summary or an about the project option at the top of my report, I can simply uncheck those 2 things. So let's click on generate report. And it's taking a few minutes here. So these reports are helping us get some quick answers about our tasks and our goals. We can find out what tasks are late. We can find out if somebody's overloaded with too many tasks from the team. We can find out the progress of our different tasks within the reports area. So this is a built-in reporting view. This isn't a custom report. So if I scroll down, you'll see how it reads as a report. And once it's generated, I can choose to keep it or discard it if I'm not sure that I included enough sections in the report, or I want to change maybe the timing that I selected. I'll choose to keep it. And then I've got an option of sharing it as a newsletter And then just like that, it's created a newsletter in my SharePoint site that this team is from. So I have a newsletter page that people can then access and look at. So quite an interesting option for you to have, especially if it's a report at the year end or at different quarters and you already do this, then why not have the planner doing the work for you? And of course, because this is a newsletter within my SharePoint site, I can certainly edit it from here if I want to. I'm going to choose to keep it. And then also notice for this report, it is showing as draft right now. I'm going to change that to completed so that we can show that this is a completed report. Everything on here is correct. And then I can close it. And you'll see this is listing here. So anybody in the team can go to the reports area and look at these particular reports, which are really snapshots of what's happening with those tasks and those goals. The next change that you have within Planner is actually the fact that you now have something called a planner agent. And so you can give the planner agent tasks to do for you as well. So you can see one of the tasks that I have that's in progress is simply to suggest more tasks for my onboarding new employees. And so that it can suggest to me the tasks that I should include here. So I've just changed my view to group by assigned to, because the planner agent is one of those people that are assigned stuff. So I can take something that's unassigned over here and drag it over to the planner agent. So what steps are missing is one I thought would be kind of good job for the agent to take on. And you can see how now that is queued for the AI agent to look at. So it's going to look at all the tasks and give me feedback on what steps are missing. Now, the agent at this time does not build plans for us. It doesn't restructure our tasks automatically, but it will help give you some insights into your tasks, give you some more information about it. So how do you know when the planner agent has actually done something for you? If you see tasks that you know you didn't manually create, then most likely the planner created it for you. So in fact, actually, if you look at my screen right now, there's a task that shows up as ready under the unassigned. What steps are missing in this hiring process? And it shows ready, and it's showing me AI agent activity. And if I scroll down, it's telling me it reviewed the hiring process and these are the steps that are missing. So it's giving me the answer to that task that I just gave it. And now I can work with these answers and make my task list even better. So that's kind of cool, isn't it? Now, another change that's happened within Planner is that when you open up one of your tasks, you have a chat area on the right-hand side of the screen. Now, what I used to see here was really a comments section within Planner, which was at the bottom of the task. So they've moved that comment section out and they've given us a chat section. So this is kind of in line with everything we're doing within Microsoft products. There's always a chat happening somewhere. And so that's kind of nice to see. If someone's asking a question or chatting about something, then somebody else can reply, and anybody from the team that is sharing these tasks can see these chats happening. So I just closed the task that I had open, and you can see that there's a little chat bubble on this task. And so if I click on this task again and I go to the bottom here, then I can type a new message, send it off. And by the way, if this is not my task, but somebody else's task, then that person that is assigned the task is going to get notified via email or a pop-up in Teams that this chat is happening. But anybody can look at the chat or look at the task because it's part of the team. So no more lost emails chatting about certain tasks. Just put your conversations about those tasks right in the task itself. Everything in one place. The last big change I'm going to share with you is the fact that I can take one of these tasks that I have and I can add it to My Day in To Do. So if you're using the To Do app within Microsoft, you know you have a My Day option. I'm just going to have this open here. So let me go to this task over here, click on the three dots and choose Add to My Day. So I could do that with even tasks that I have planned for tomorrow. If I want to get ahead of the game and add that to my day today, I'd click on those three dots again, choose Add to My Day, and then it'll show up here. It takes a moment or two to actually show up. And there you go. The two of them are showing up there. All right. So those were the 7 things that I wanted to share with you that are all new in Microsoft Planner and in Teams. Have fun with that. Thanks.